Congratulations on the first half of the first season. I'll tell you what, Dean, this is such an amazing show. It always has been, but the new elements fit right in. You did a good job.
Well, thanks. I had a really great showrunner.
I know you do. Katie, is this a lot like Herding Cats?
It is not unsimilar to Herding Cats, but all the cats are words on a page, and you just sort of have to put them in the right order.
You're writing your show. Are you gonna step behind and direct as well?
Not this season. I think I'm gonna have to let Dean. Dean's gonna have to let me shadow him for like 6-7 months before I feel at all comfortable directing.
Well, I must say, Dean, you've got some great directors. Of course, I had a long conversation with Beth about a week ago, but Jonathan Frakes does such a great job. Noah, that the episode that he directed was spot on. You were just blessed with all kinds of talent.
Well, and I got to watch them grow. I always tell the story that when we were doing the Librarian movie in Africa, there was one day where we were racing through a scene and we had to get to the next location. And as we were moving, Noah Wiley turned to me and went, "We didn't get that shot, did we?" And I realized that he had a filmmaker's mind. And so then time cut years later, when he got to direct for me on The Librarians, on an episode Kate wrote, it was just so wonderful to see that I was right, that he's a true filmmaker. And now every time he directs for me, it's always one of my favorites.
And he has such a great eye. Beth has a wonderful eye as far as where to place the camera and all of that.
A lot of people don't realize that she was actually a photographer before she was even a model. So she's always been into cinematography and photography. And again, when we were doing Librarians, she flew herself to Oregon to shadow me for an episode because she really wanted to learn the process.
And learn it she did. And her episode with LeVar Burton was absolutely amazing. I can't wait for people to see that episode because it is such a fun episode.
Good way to kick it off.
Yeah. Katie, let me ask you this. You kind of hinted around, will there be a season 2? Are you guys negotiating for that?
We are cautiously optimistic about a season 2. We don't have anything beyond optimism at this point, but we had such a great time making season 1. Our partners at IMDb TV were absolutely fantastic, and we feel so completely supported. And the fans showed up in a way that blows my mind. It's hard to think that we wouldn't do something in the future.
Well, the numbers are great, and climbing and getting better. And Electric now, and Electric Entertainment is. Dean, you're going gangbusters.
We're having a good year.
You're a mogul. Your app is just an amazing app, by the way.
Thank you.
It encompasses not just Leverage and the Librarians, but you have a lot of entertainment on that.
Yeah, and we've been getting more and more all the time, which has been really exciting and interesting. Some of the stuff we put on. Like for instance, we got old episodes of the Milton Berle show, and I realized that while I knew who Milton Berle was growing up, I'd never actually watched the show, and I binged through the whole thing. I couldn't get enough of it, and I was so amazed on how he was doing stuff that David Letterman ended up doing, 40 years later. I mean, just incredible.
And a lot of it is relevant to today.
It's really surprising.
Katie, what do you think audiences are going to pull from Leverage Redemption this half of the first season, this new half?
Well, I think that the second half, it takes everything that we did in the first half, the relationships that we built and the cons and whatnot, and it just it amplifies everything. There's so many fun guest stars. There's so many cool different scenarios that we put people in. There's just so much more fun to be had, and hopefully a little bit of character growth and stuff like that too.
And these characters are always evolving, which is so exciting to see that they're not in the same place they were when the show went off the air originally.
Yes, it was important to us that they grew because 10 years had passed, 10 years had passed. And, Parker has been in a place where she's been the mastermind. She's for several crews, for a dozen different crews. So she has that kind of authority, and she actually sort of has let go of any notion that she should care what other people think about her weird eccentricity. She has grown to the point where she's like, I am eccentric. I know it. I love it. Let's dive deeper.
I think that's why everybody loves her, is because she has no walls at all.
No filter.
Yeah.
Dean, I'm going to give you the last word. I have a couple of questions about, are we going to get back to Almost Paradise?
Well, I let me put it to you this way. If everybody comes back and watches the back 8 and people keep watching Almost Paradise, IMDb TV has been the most spectacular partner. And I would not be surprised if they gave us second seasons on both of them. But I need the fan support. I need everybody to show up and start watching.
I'll send out the word, and I hope to see Richard Kind coming back on the show.
He has to. We life is not good without Richard Kind.
one of my favorite people, and you are one of my favorite people too, Dean and Katie. Thank you guys so much for your time. All the best, and we'll see you soon.
Wait.
Yeah. Oh, wait.
Yeah. Do yours too.
Okay, Tony.
Well, let's talk Leverage Redemption, my favorite show, as you guys know. Sophie is really stepping up in these new episodes. I mean, this is really an actor's dream.
Don't tell anyone.
Yeah. Oh,
Everyone will want my job. It is.
Everyone wants your job anyway.
Yeah, it is an actor's dream. I couldn't be happier with what the journey they gave me, and it was great, and I felt that it was very fresh as well. I mean, they could have gone in a direction of her being kind of really marooned in grief, and they didn't. They let her blossom and flourish, and I think that a lot of people who have suffered a loss will kind of take some joy from that, because it's not, of course, when you lose a loved one, you're reflecting on that, but you also have to put one foot in front of the other. You have to figure out what's next, what's my journey, what's my direction, where do I go from here? And I feel that was the story they wrote, that was the story they gave me, and I loved every minute of it.
And we are loving it as well with you. Elise, Brianna is finding her voice, and she is just amazing.
Oh, thank you. Thanks. I came in, I tried to, give as much as I could, because this is one of the most giving casts, and, giving behind the scenes as well. Shout out to all the people that taught me how to hit a mark. And, it's been fantastic. I'm glad it's going over well.
Gina, when you know that Noah and Beth are directing, does that make you want to direct as well? Are you willing to step behind the camera?
No, I'm not. It's funny. I'm not. Well, Beth's always wanted to direct, and I think I don't know Noah well enough to know, but I imagine he's been directing for a long time. He certainly seems really seasoned at it. My thing is words. I love text. I'm not a visual person. I don't see camera shots. I don't see things in a visual way. Like if I can have my head buried in the script, try to make the scene better, switch things around, bring in a different, see it from a different angle. I'm all about the text. I'm very wrapped up in the writing, but I don't see myself as a director. No.
Elise, is that on your bucket list? Maybe directing?
Yes, but I am a visual artist. I paint, and I have a good sort of not photographic memory, but I do clock the when I'm watching a movie, I'm like, this shot is killer. It's killing me. It's nice. So, hopefully, but I think that is its own art and craft, and it's not something that you hop into. And, the reason that Beth and Noah are so gifted at it is because they put work into it. So, if the tide changes and I'm willing to put the work in, I wouldn't count it out.
Gina, you are in London right now, and it's late. I understand that. But your countrymen get to share Leverage Redemption pretty soon, don't they?
Very, very exciting. Yeah, the 22nd of October. Leverage Redemption is going to launch on IMDb TV, and they're going to get all 16 episodes, which is really, really exciting. It's been very frustrating being here all these months and not being able to respond on social media or to people on the streets and tell them when it's coming. And I know that they feel like they're a little bit behind, but I think the fact that they get all 16 episodes and don't have the hiatus in the middle kind of makes up for it a little bit.
Yeah, it's exciting news, and I am crossing my fingers and everything else for a second season of Leverage Redemption. It is truly one of the best shows on TV or anywhere. So congratulations, everyone, on this monumental effort. We love you.
That means a lot. Thank you, Tony. Take care.
All right, you guys take care. Wow, part of my plan of world domination is to talk to Beth Riesgraf every week.
Yeah, well, so far so good.
Yeah. Got one more after this too. I'll tell you what, guys, I am so jazzed. I now have seen all the episodes, the new episodes, and I am just floored by how good they are. You guys are doing such a great job, and I'm really on my knees praying that IMDb picks you up for a second season.
Thank you so much. We feel exactly the same way. We love it.
Well, Beth, I mean, let's talk now. We can talk a little bit about working with the crew and with on the episode. So
the
bucket
episode,
list.
The bucket job and the Great Train episode. I directed both of those. I was very fortunate this season and got to work with a handful of amazing guest stars, and I think. We were all very excited to welcome LeVar Burton to the set of Leverage. It was a dream come true for all of us. And he and Christian knocked that episode out of the park. Their chemistry was evident from the second they met. And I couldn't have asked for a better experience. Honestly, I had so many talented actors locally as well as from LA and, all over the place. But everybody brought their A game. And it was just such a great, supportive, collaborative experience.
And with Noah directing as well, Christian, are you going to hop behind the camera and join the DGA?
I don't know, man. I don't know if this is a show for me to do it on. Now, Almost Paradise, there's been talk about that because I think that I would be able to maybe get there early or something. But I love being an actor, man. And I've seen now it gets to me every once in a while because Noah directed me a handful of times on The Librarians, and then he directed a few of these episodes, and then Beth came in and she got her two in, and it didn't bite me as hard as I thought it was. Once I saw Beth directing, I thought I was going to really want to maybe jump in there, but I enjoy being an actor, and I tell you what, the way she directed us and working with LeVar Burton, side by side with him, it just made me even more appreciate the fact that I am an actor and that I get to work this day and age. And so directing maybe on down the line, but right now Beth did such a great job. I'm gonna let her keep swinging.
That's great because, as I said to you in our other interview, you have such a great eye for directing. It's part of that photography history that you have.
Absolutely. Yeah, I started out as a photographer, as you know, and it was really a full circle moment in many ways for me on this because Dean gave me a shot at playing Parker, and now he was the first person to give me a shot at directing television. And, he had watched my trajectory and seen me always taking photos and making short films and hustling to sit in on any meeting I could and shadow him. And, it meant a lot that I had a vote of confidence from he and the entire producing, team. Basically, everybody was very supportive, but I think they also realized I've been working hard for 25 years to get here. And so I was just so happy that my first experience was with such a great cast and crew that I felt super safe with. And I knew that I would have full support going in,
It's like directing your family. I mean, everybody has that kind of trust in you.
Absolutely. With a show like this, people will say this, other directors, you walk into a show like this, everybody knows what they're doing. You don't have to direct the actors. They know their characters better than ever, but there's moments when you just acknowledging a great performance, you don't always get that as an actor. And I think the benefit of being an actor myself is sometimes that you need to acknowledge someone's work because it's so beautiful and it's so moving and powerful. And it's important to get that back. Sometimes we put so much energy out. And so to get a little acknowledgement, even if it's just like, that was fantastic, we got it, let's go. It's just that little thing that I know it's that teamwork. And without that dedication from Christian and everybody else to do their best work, always, it's like, they make me look good as well. So it's like, I'm their biggest fan. I cheer after the takes that I love. And, I was just blown away by Christian's emotional work and the bucket job. He really had to dig deep. And there were some really beautiful moments that I think people are going to see that they haven't seen this side of Elliot before. They're going to really enjoy that journey with him.
And that's exactly my next question to Christian is Elliot is now getting some spotlight, some more depth. And I think the writers are going to go nuts with this character.
I appreciate you saying that. I feel like that as well, Elliot Spencer, for me to play him, I always find him a lot more fun to play when he's broken. And he's starting to get fixed in this thing. You know what I mean? Like in the back eight, you start seeing like these emotional things, and then of course the bottom gets ripped out. But it was fun. And the great thing about this is, I've talked to Beth about it. It was that Elliot would not have opened up and been as emotional as he was on the bucket job if it would have been in front of Parker, if it had been in front of Hardison. But because he didn't know LeVar's character, but still related to him, he was able to open up with someone that probably will never, say, oh, wow, I saw a weak moment for Elliot. I saw an emotional moment from Elliot. So that was a lot of fun for me to get to play. And then, like I said, Beth directed it perfectly and allowed me to kind of find it. We did different takes of different emotions and stuff like that. And she picked the ones that worked, that were great. But it was fun. But, to what she said and what you said about The Shining, this cast has always been like that. And there's really not a lot of other casts. It doesn't always happen like this, I should say. This cast is unbelievable because since day one, if it's somebody's time to shine, then we all take a little step back and let them have the spotlight. And whoever's turn it is, we've always been so gracious. And with Beth directing, it was exactly the opposite. She was the director. She got the spotlight, and we all took a step forward so that we could do the best job we could for her. And, and that's what's fun is I get to watch it as a fan now. And I watched the episode, The Bucket Job, and just was noticing little things that people may not notice that I noticed of how great of a director she is. And so it's a lot of fun. And she helped me get through some emotional stuff that I had to get through in that episode. And that was, again, a testament to her directing.
Well, I know we had a limited amount of time. There's two things I want to say is one, in any other series, any other written show, Parker and Elliot would be written as one-dimensional characters. And I love the writing for your characters. They are just incredible people, and we're learning a lot more about them. And secondly, Beth, our interview will be posted tonight.
All right.
Yeah. So there. And I'll see you guys later. And I love you and keep it up. And I'll see you next week for my nomination.
Awesome.
Jeffrey Howard says hi, and he says he's waiting. He's waiting for me to send you guys to the Philippines.
Yeah, we need that.
Yeah.
Bye, guys.
Thanks, Tony. Take care.
Love you both.